Greetings, this is Vane and welcome back to Let's Play the Elder Scrolls Arena. Okay, when we last left off, we were exploring this dungeon. It's another random dungeon. So, not really much to say about it, other than random dungeon, level 2. Yay! You know what I'm like for random dungeons. Basically, I like to do stuff in between doing the main quests. Kind of break it up to help make it a little bit more organic, that sort of thing. Okay. Missed that. Dang. That's annoying. Literally, I walked past it, wasn't there, it spawned and boom. I'm getting bad. So we're back to resting. That's fine. We're not too worried about that. Said I tend to like to go around the and I pretty much talked to about these modules to death, really, haven't I? No, nothing in here. Never mind. I mean, in terms of the main quest, we know where we got to go to find out information for where the map to the next dungeon will be. I mean, the game is pretty simple. Well, the main quest is pretty simple in that regard. Bit of a pity, if you ask me, but enemies nearby, that means there's another minotaur somewhere. Where is ya? Slap some trolls. And this is a nice, grindy, yet somewhat relaxing game, to be honest. Yeah, you get a few bits where it gets a little bit tense, but mostly it's like... it's pretty chill. And I like that. That's a nice little set piece there, isn't it? Although I'm not entirely sure how comfortable it would be to have a summoning chamber that you had to swim to. I suppose if you're a wizard you'd teleport, probably. Yeah. Let's go this way. I don't think we've seen this module before. Or maybe we've definitely not seen it in this alignment. So this is where the stairs would be in this module. That brings us back round there, okay. Fair enough. Inventory is full, huh? Okay. How are we doing? What have we got? A couple of plate helms. Let's drop the mace. It's going to be interesting. Turns out we've got more stuff than we can carry. And a lot of that is because of the potion, so... Fair enough. Let's start quaffing some potions, I guess. They were probably, by the looks of it, potions of restore power, which is interesting and lovely. Considering I didn't have any power to restore, yeah. I'm guessing that's why nothing happened. Of course, they might have been cure disease or something as well, so either way. I'll let you get your 3 hits in. There we go. What have you got for us? Dagger. And a longbow, okay. Okay, so that's come out of there. And joins up here. Fair enough. Apparently we can't get round there, so I'm going to swim. Yeah. Okay. Now that is interesting. Because we can't get in here. So, yeah, fair enough. There's no way for us to get in there at all. And sometimes you get that with modular dungeons. I mean, that's supposed to... But yeah, we've not had this set up before, but yeah, that would carry on to whatever was up here, if there wasn't up there, and be a dead end, and that would be like, okay. But as it stands, it isn't, because we can't get to it. So whatever's in there will have to stay in there, hidden forever. Which is fine by me. Well, it might be the best sword ever made in the game, even better than my current ebony katana of wheel, but we will never know. I love the panpipes. And it's interesting to note that this is a grid-based system, not a wireframe-based system, which basically means that the walls count as blocks. And you can sort of see, for example, like that's a wall down there, and that's like one block. You can see the size of a block. Whereas with wireframes, which is what often you'd get in like games like a bit like D&D and stuff, is especially the older ones. You can see it in my other Let's Play, Mordor, Depths of Dagenol, is where the walls are basically, they're basically lines rather than squares. So walls tend to have like be very thin, have very limited thickness, and are basically placed on the divides between squares as opposed to on taking up squares themselves. And in both cases, I mean, they lead to kind of slightly different gameplay design, mapping design choices, that sort of thing. But when it for a lot of old school games, I mean, Dungeons and Dragons is very much tends to be a wire-based mapping system. So obviously games that emulated that kind of gameplay were also kind of mapped on a wire-based system, where it'd be like, okay, this square and it has walls north, south, east, west exactly. Where's this vampire? Because I need to know where it is now. Oh, it's in that room, okay. It's fine, we're going to press on. We've not got much health, but we'll press on. One old school trend that that you don't really see is the hex crawl, which is hex-based mapping, usually used for outside, so you can kind of get a better sense of where things are. It's more rounded. The problem with that is that it's very hard to present a hex map in computing where everything tends to be based on grids. So you'll find that, which is interesting because I mean that's Dungeons and Dragons, especially basic Dungeons and Dragons. The exploring the wilderness aspects. I mean, the hex crawl, when done properly, is actually quite good and quite interesting. Basically, it's a bit of a bit like a random dungeon, but in wilderness, and there's less walls, so you can kind of got a freer movement, and you're kind of making an expedition. And there's been quite a few games done like that. A lot of the original X series for the expert Dungeons and Dragons game was a hex crawl. We've seen it in like I think it's Kingmaker from Pathfinder is one of the later ones where that's thing, but you don't tend to see that sort of gameplay. I mean, that kind of gameplay tends to be kind of weird anyway, and you don't see it in computer games very much. I mean, obviously it's been kind of superseded by the go anywhere open world style that we currently have. So for example, Skyrim, you don't need that to be a hex crawl. It would make an interesting hex crawl, don't get me wrong, and you can have some fun basically converting video game maps from open world games into hexes for hex crawls. It's just that is just one tradition that just didn't make it. We've done this, okay. So we're going to finish off this bit here, which is a bit, well, it's interesting and a bit sad, I think. I mean, hex crawls were your original kind of sandbox open world adventures for D&D, way before computers could do that sort of thing. And it's essentially the same gameplay, except because it's turn-based. Yeah, so I mean, we're seeing hexes in kind of strategy games now, like Civilization. They used to be grids because it was easier. And in a way, you can sort of say that they might be hex, that they're kind of the closest analogue to hex crawls. But yeah, you don't see much of them these days. And of course, thanks to cartography improvements, hex crawls have kind of fallen out of fashion in D&D as well. I mean, in a lot of cases, for a lot of games, the wilderness is just something that you pass through. It isn't like, you know, as you get into the excitement between bits of adventure, and kind of forget that sometimes the wilderness can be an adventure. Okay. But then that was the style for OD. It's a lot of the style for OD&D games. Well, not even OD&D. It was just basic and expert D&D games, or Beck Me if you want the improved version. There were a lot of versions of D&D. It's a long and varied history. Okay, so I'm going to save here and see if I can do some resting. And then we'll probably call it here. And then carry on with this in the next episode. Yeah, that'll do. So yeah, I'm going to call it here and we will carry on in the next episode. So, this has been Vane doing a Let's Play the Elder Scrolls Arena. If you like what you're seeing here, be sure to like, subscribe, share and comment. Please consider sponsoring me on Patreon, and until next time, goodbye.